Sophia, I'm really scared, Emily whispered. Her voice trembled with hesitation and anxiety. She looked like she was about to cry. I don't know how I'll handle it. The wedding is done, but I don't think I can go through with the wedding night. I've heard it's incredibly painful, so much that it becomes unbearable. You know how I am. Even a tiny needle brings tears to my eyes. And this is something else entirely. He'll be inside me. Since I heard your story about your first night, I haven't been able to stop shivering. She paused, swallowing her fear. I read a story once, she continued. A girl ended up in the hospital after her first night. She bled so much that she died by morning. Since then, I've been dying inside just thinking about it. You know that Mr. Sahir is such a strict and cold man. What if I can't handle him? He won't spare me. And if he divorces me after the wedding night, what will become of me? Her voice cracked. And what if I actually end up in the hospital that night? She said, her whole body shaking. Her eyes welled up with tears as she lowered her gaze, fear swimming in her eyes. Her heart was crying blood. She hated even the word marriage now. Sophia looked at her quietly for a moment, then moved closer and said gently, Emily, this is the way the world works. Every girl has to go through this on her wedding night. Physical intimacy is part of the emotional bond. It's a man's natural desire, something he's waited his whole life to fulfill with his wife. If you stop him, you're not only committing a sin, but it's also unfair. A husband has the right to be close to his wife, and you've been married now. Emily quickly shook her head. No, Sophia, I can't. Just thinking about it makes my heart freeze. How can I let him come near me? He'll touch me, kiss me. I can't handle that. I feel like I'm dying already, and you're talking about it like it's so easy. I don't want any kind of pleasure. I don't even believe in this thing called marriage anymore. Who knows what he might do to me? She was trying so innocently to explain her pain to her friend. Sophia gently held her hand. Emily, you're not alone. We've all been through this. It was the same for me. It hurt a lot, but I still managed. Because rejecting your husband's closeness weakens the relationship. If wives keep saying no, men start looking elsewhere. They get distracted by other women. It's wrong, it's sinful. And think about it. If not now, then someday you'll have to face it. And eventually, women do start to find pleasure in it too. You need to at least try to understand. If you keep being scared like this, your relationship will fall apart. Sahir will start avoiding you. Why are you pushing his love away? Tears began streaming down Emily's face as her voice trembled again. I won't compromise. It's too much. Why should I suffer like this? I don't even fully know myself yet. How can I let him touch me? Sure, he's my husband, but my body, my choice. Where does that go? Sophia took a deep breath as if searching for the right words. Emily, this isn't just about you. The entire system is built this way. We can't change it. All we can do is bend a little, endure a little, and eventually things fall into place. But if you refuse, it could ruin the relationship. Think about your parents. They're old now. How long can you depend on them? You don't have a brother or sister to support you. And honestly, you're not strong enough to survive out there alone. You never even went to college without me. How will you survive in this world? On your own? Emily buried her face in her hands. I'm going to break, Sophia. I don't have that kind of strength. My soul is trembling. When he touches me, I'll die inside. She was stuck on that one thought. Sophia, who was already married right after high school and now pregnant, couldn't make her friend understand that this is a bond every girl has to eventually accept. The room fell silent, with only Emily's sobs echoing softly in the air. It was quiet, with only the distant sound of dogs barking outside. Sophia placed a hand gently on Emily's shoulder, but her heart too felt heavy. She knew all too well how many hearts this Nizam had trampled. Hearts just like Emily's, and perhaps he would crush many more in the future. Still, playing the role of a good friend, she offered her only one piece of advice. You have to endure. Marriage is the name of compromise and patience. If you can't endure, no relationship can survive. Sophia went back home late that night. But her words had done nothing except intensify the fear inside Emily. Night had now completely spread its shadows. A dim yellow light filled the room, as if it was trying and failing to fight off the darkness. Emily sat silently on the edge of the bed, her eyes fixed on the screen of her phone. The room was filled with complete silence, except for the ticking of the clock on the wall and the soft rustling of the breeze outside the window. Emily spent a few moments just staring blankly at the screen, as if she were battling with herself. Should she look or not? What was she even searching for? Finally, she took a deep breath and opened her phone. She tapped on the YouTube app and with trembling hands typed in, "What is the first night of marriage like?" The search results flooded in, with colorful thumbnails and bold titles. She clicked on one. The voice from the video now echoed through her quiet room. On the wedding night, a man desires closeness with his wife. This is a natural act and a right, and it must be fulfilled. It is the wife's duty to meet her husband's desires. Emily's eyes welled up with tears, and slowly they began to spill onto her cheeks. The voice from the video felt like a hammer pounding on her chest. It hurts, but you have to endure it. Love grows with time. Physical intimacy is essential. It's a natural act. A woman who rejects her husband's closeness weakens the marriage. There's pleasure in it, joy too. You just have to learn to feel it. Those who feel it as joy live a peaceful life. Those who feel it as pain suffer all their lives. Emily threw her phone aside with force. She buried her face into the pillow and began to cry. Her sobs filled the room. She was terrified, more than she had ever been. She couldn't speak her heart to anyone. She couldn't even understand herself. One single thought consumed her. Soon I'll have to undress in front of a stranger, meet every one of his desires, surrender myself completely. How will I do all this? The thought tortured her. Her head lowered, she cried for several minutes, as if a dam inside her had finally burst. I won't get married. I won't ruin my life. I won't bear this pain. I won't. She kept repeating those words over and over, trying to convince herself, as if it still wasn't too late to escape. But that innocent girl had no idea. The man she had married was a Khanzada, and a Khanzada may die. But he never lets go of his woman. Wiping away her tears, she picked up her phone with trembling hands. After a long pause and a deep breath, she opened WhatsApp and started typing a message to Sahir. Fear gripped her. She knew that if her family found out, she would have to endure far worse. But she believed Sahir loved her enough. He would understand her fear and step away. She thought, I'll take all the blame. He'll walk away when I reject him. What she didn't know was that Sahir was a Khanzada, a man who could see through the shadows. How could he let the woman he loved slip from his hands? Still, Emily typed, Mr. Sahir, I want to meet you tomorrow. Can I come to your house? Her heart was pounding violently. Sahir had invited her to his home many times before. His mother had even sent formal invitations. But each time Emily had made excuses. Yet today, the thought of going to his home made her entire being shiver. Just a few moments later, a reply came. Yes, love, come. My house is always open for you. No one will stop you. If you want, I can even come pick you up. He replied with deep affection, unaware that the woman he called his wife was about to bring a storm into his life. Had he known Emily's intentions, he would have broken her legs before letting her leave. Reading his message, Emily's hands trembled again. Fear took over her body. Facing Sahir had always been the hardest thing for her. She quickly responded, No, I'll come. Just tell me what time you'll be home. Sahir replied, Come by 6 p.m. I'll get back from the office early. Don't worry about anything. Just come, don't take any stress. Neither my mom nor yours will say anything. I'll handle it all. I'm waiting for you. Desperately, my love. Emily quietly replied, Thank you, turned off her phone, and leaned back against the pillow, eyes closed. A new inner conflict had taken hold of her, but she no longer wanted to stay silent. She wanted answers. From Sahir, from this relationship, from herself. She knew everything about this was wrong. She shouldn't be making such a decision in haste. She should consult someone older, wiser. But as they say, Tar, your age shapes your thoughts. She was on the verge of ruining her own home, without even realizing it. The entire night passed in turmoil. The next morning, the sun rose in full brightness. She had no idea how to speak to her mother, how to explain that she wanted to visit Sahir's home. But she knew she had to say something. At around 2 p.m., she gathered some courage and walked slowly toward the kitchen. Sunlight streamed through the window, casting golden streaks into the room. The house was silent, except for the gentle clinking of a spoon stirring a pot and the faint sound of vegetables being chopped. Emily walked softly. She paused at the kitchen doorway, then leaned slightly to peek inside. Her mother was sautéing onions in clarified butter while simultaneously pulling potatoes out of a vegetable basket and washing them. The scarf had slipped slightly from her head, and sweat shimmered on her forehead. For a moment, fear gripped Sophia's heart. Seeing her mother so immersed in work and braving the intense heat, she thought to herself, this could go wrong. What if Mama didn't allow her to go? But she couldn't lose courage. No matter what, she had to meet Sahir today. Sophia stood quietly for a few moments, watching her mother, then hesitantly cleared her throat. Her mother turned, and upon seeing her, broke into a warm smile. "Oh, my darling girl, why are you in the kitchen? Your wedding is just a month away. Go take care of your skin. You have to glow on your big day. If the smoke gets to your face, your complexion will dull." Her voice was filled with love as she said it. Sophia stepped forward slowly, a slight smile on her face, but worry clearly written across it. She was trying to gather the right words. After a moment, she softly spoke. "Mama, I want to meet Sahir today." Only she knew how hard those words were to say. Shame flooded her. His name alone always colored her cheeks with crimson. But today her expression carried anxiety more than blush. Her mother suddenly stopped stirring the onions and turned toward her daughter with seriousness. "Why? Why do you want to meet him? There's only 1 month left. Meetings like this shouldn't happen now. People cast evil eyes, and then on your wedding day, your face won't shine like it should. Try to make it special. Let him see your face for the first time on your wedding night. Try to understand, child. You're not a little girl anymore. And even during marriage preparations, it's good to maintain some distance. Men, they're unpredictable with their emotions." Her voice, though calm, carried deep warnings wrapped in simple words. Sophia looked down. Her voice softened further. "Mama, I need to talk to him. It's very important. Just a little time. He said 6 hours, I'll be back in 2 hours. Please give me permission." Lines formed on her mother's forehead. She turned back to the stove, but her stirring stopped. "Your father will be upset. He's the one who said you shouldn't see him until the wedding night. That's tradition, and it's a matter of honor. And listen to me carefully. Men, they don't follow rules like we do. You're already his, halal for him. If his desires take over, he might treat tonight like your wedding night. I don't want any such thing happening. I don't want to hear any bad talk just 1 month before the wedding." This time she spoke openly and directly. Normally she gave in to her daughter's requests, but not today. She didn't know that her daughter was planning to end it all. Sophia stepped back in panic, unprepared for rejection, and her mother's words felt like they were draining the blood from her body. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, then stepped forward again. "Mama, please, just this once. I promise I won't be late. For God's sake, you're my mother. Understand me. My heart is tangled with so many knots. I'm so confused. He's about to become a part of my life, and I need answers from him. I can't walk into this marriage with a heavy heart." Her mother looked at her again. Sophia's eyes were moist, her face pleading. She sighed, troubled. "What is it that's bothering you so much? You've been happy since the engagement. Why this tension now? Weddings happen for everyone. It's not new." Sophia spoke with pain in her voice. "Mama, please let me go. I can't tell you everything today, but I promise this is important. If you want me to be truly happy, let me go. And please talk to Dad if he finds out." Her mother gave her a long look, observing her distress. Then she nodded slowly, but her tone turned stern. "All right, go. But listen carefully. You said 6 you? Then be home by 7, no excuses. Your father must not find out. And if anything strange happens, tell me immediately. Don't take stress. Your mother is with you in everything. Just trust me." Sophia nodded quickly. "Yes, Mama, thank you. I'll be back on time, don't worry." Saying this, she turned and walked out of the kitchen. Her mother looked after her, then quietly whispered, "Oh Allah, please bless my daughter with a good fate. She's so innocent and pure-hearted. Protect her and let this day pass in peace." Time ticked by slowly. Evening shadows stretched across the neighborhood. It was almost 6. The sun's light had softened, as if the day itself was growing weary. Sophia quietly opened the door. adjusted her scarf, then stepped outside, closing the door gently behind her. She stood at the corner of the street, her face serious, her steps hurried. A rickshaw approached. She raised her hand, stopped it, and got in. The city buzzed around her, streets, alleys, traffic noise, but she sat in silence. Her fingers nervously intertwined, her eyes focused not on the world outside, but on the storm raging in her mind. This marriage had been arranged by the families. Everyone said it was a perfect match. But Sophia had learned soon after the nikah that it hadn't been a coincidence. Sahir had seen her at a wedding and fallen for her instantly. He convinced his family, and soon the match was fixed. When Sophia found out, she felt a strange sense of joy. What kind of man decides his whole future just by seeing someone once? Maybe this is love, she had thought. Maybe she was lucky. On the day of the nikah, her face glowed with happiness. She thought she was heading into a safe, loving life. But that night, Sahir had leaned close and whispered, "I wish I could take you home right now and spend the whole night lost in your beauty. But for now, all I have is this nikah. We'll have to wait till Rukhsati. So finish your studies soon. I can't wait to make you mine." Something inside her broke. Since that moment, her peace had vanished. A weight settled in her thoughts. Was this love built only on physical desire? She began to feel unsafe again. A question echoed in her heart. Is this the life I dreamed of? Time moved on. Her exams ended. The wedding planning intensified. Only a month remained, but the storm inside her grew stronger each day. She felt like she was being pushed toward a wall behind which only darkness awaited. That's when she decided she couldn't remain silent. Sitting in that rickshaw, Sophia resolved to speak her heart. She had to end this. A relationship without trust or security couldn't be her future. The rickshaw turned onto a street. She saw the sign. Sahir's house was near. She adjusted her scarf again, hid her trembling hands, closed her eyes, and gave herself one last pep talk. Say everything. Don't be afraid. Be strong. Soon she reached Khanzada Mansion. The house was as grand as its name. A lush lawn greeted her, flowers neatly arranged in pots. Ornate gold and white walls, chandeliers overhead. She stepped out, hesitated, then entered. Crossing the hall, she reached the lounge. There sat Sahir's mother, Mrs. Benish, holding a phone with a focused expression. When she saw Sophia, she smiled and stood up warmly. "Oh, Sophia, dear, what a surprise! We didn't expect you today. How lovely to see you. You look beautiful." Sophia took a step back nervously, her gaze downcast. "Assalamu alaikum, Auntie. Sahir invited me." She didn't mention that she had asked to come. Benish Auntie gently took her arm and led her to the sofa. "Come, sit down, dear. How's your family? All well?" Sophia nodded, sitting cautiously. Her hands trembled. "Yes, all is well, Auntie. I came to meet Sahir. He said 6 how." Benish Auntie smiled. Yes. He mentioned you'd be coming. You two should talk. You're already married now, just a month left for the wedding. Share your hearts. Get to know each other better." Sophia lowered her eyes and softly said, "Yes." But in her heart, she wondered, was this really just about sharing hearts? Or was she here to release a storm that might shatter everything? Benish Auntie gently said, "He's upstairs waiting. Go ahead, I'll send tea for you both." Sophia stood slowly, fixed her scarf, wiped her palms, and softly said, "Thank you, Auntie," then walked toward the stairs. With every step, her heart pounded harder. Behind that door wasn't just Sahir. It was the future waiting to be rewritten. "I'm sorry the delay was my fault," Sahir said. "Sophia kept insisting we should go home, but I was being stubborn. I took her out to dinner. I thought after such a long time, we finally met, so why not spend a little time together? Anyway, now we'll only meet after the wedding, at least a month and a half later. Please don't scold her," he added quickly. Sophia's mother's expression immediately softened. "Oh no, son. Why would I scold you? You're her husband. You have every right." Sahir smiled and said warmly, "Yes, I do have the right, and I've taken it too." Sophia's mother looked at him sharply. "What do you mean?" He quickly changed the subject. "I mean, I spent time with her outside. That too is a kind of right, isn't it? Just asking for a little time?" He lowered his gaze and continued, "Anyway, I should get going now. My mother is alone at home. Please take care of her." As he turned to leave, she called out, "Oh, son, At least eat something before you go. I'll serve dinner. Sahir replied gently. No, auntie, thank you very much. I've already eaten and so has Sophia. You just get some rest. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz, son, she said, standing at the open door. As soon as Sahir left, it was like a spark ignited inside Sophia. Without saying a word, she hurried to her room, shut the door, and locked it from inside. Her breathing was uneven, and her heartbeat seemed to overpower every thought in her head. Sophia's mother, Sakina Begum, stood silently by the door for a moment, then shook her head gently. Concern lingered on her face as though she were trying to understand an unspoken truth. But she was calm because her daughter was legally married. That thought always brought her peace. A month and a half passed. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The wedding day finally arrived. The house shimmered with lights and decorations. With blessings from elders, Sophia bid farewell to her parents, home, and now sat in her husband's home, rightfully his wife. The air was filled with the scent of flowers, cheerful laughter, and soft background music creating a dreamlike atmosphere. Dressed as a bride in a deep red outfit, Sophia sat beside Sahir. Her face was a mix of modesty and happiness, and a strange shine sparkled in her eyes. Her mehndi-covered hands rested on her lap, and her eyes kept shyly looking down. The wedding customs were ongoing. Someone came to put bangles on her hands, another fed her sweets. Sahir sat next to her, continuously gazing at her. Sometimes he smiled silently, sometimes whispered something that made Sophia blush and turn her face away. Suddenly, her expression changed. She brought her hand to her forehead as if feeling a faint headache. Sahir noticed immediately. Sophia, is everything okay? He asked, his gaze sharp and concerned. She smiled faintly and nodded. Yes, I'm just feeling a little strange. Maybe it's just exhaustion. But the very next moment, the color drained from her face. Her eyes turned hazy, and she whispered, I feel dizzy. Before anyone could react, her head drooped, and she fell unconscious against Sahir's shoulder. Sophia! Sahir shouted, panic in his voice as he caught her. Chaos erupted around them. The women screamed, Oh Allah, what happened to the bride? Sahir didn't waste a second. He lifted her in his arms, her dupatta sliding off and onto his sleeve as he rushed toward the room. Mom! He called loudly. Call the doctor, quick! Binish Begum panicked and ran to the phone, her lips murmuring prayers. Sahir laid Sophia gently on the bed, patting her cheeks. Sophia, open your eyes, my love. What's happening to you? Sophia was unconscious. Her breaths were shallow but steady. Binish Begum removed the phone from her ear and said, The doctor's on her way. She'll be here in 5 minutes. The guests had now crowded into the room. Sahir took a deep breath and gently held Sophia's hand. Nothing will happen to you, he whispered. I'm with you. I won't let anything happen. The joyful atmosphere in the lounge had turned somber. All eyes were on Sophia, and every lip whispered only one prayer. May Allah protect her. A few minutes later, the doctor arrived. After beginning immediate treatment, she brought Sophia back to consciousness. The room was dimly lit and quiet. Sophia had regained full awareness. Her eyes were half open, breathing unsteady. She lay weakly on the bed, one hand still in Sahir's grasp, drawing comfort from his presence. A female doctor, stethoscope in hand, completed her examination while other women in the family stood nearby, watching in concern. Everyone was visibly worried. After surveying the room with a serious gaze, the doctor said sternly, Please! Everyone else step outside. Only the patient's husband and mother-in-law should stay. Binish Begum quickly spoke up. Yes, please, everyone. Else step outside. Only the patient's husband and mother-in-law should stay. Binish Begum quickly spoke up. Yes, please, everyone. Let's give her space. Once the room cleared, the doctor completed her examination, then turned to Sahir and Binish Begum. Look, she began carefully. This may be a private matter, but as a medical professional, it's my duty to inform you. Both Sahir and Binish Begum became alert. The doctor took a deep breath. Your daughter-in-law is pregnant. Those words didn't just fall. They landed like molten metal in their ears. Sophia's eyes flew open. Shock, confusion, and an unfamiliar fear spread across her face. She looked toward Sahir, searching for confirmation or denial. Binish Begum looked stunned. The doctor continued, She's quite young. and pregnancy at this age can bring complications, especially if health wasn't properly maintained beforehand. But one thing I don't understand, the wedding is today, yet she's already pregnant? Was she involved with someone else? Mind your words, doctor, Sahir's voice rose sharply, filled with restrained anger. He stood up straight. She's my wife. We were married 2 years ago. Today was just the formal ceremony. Everything that happened was within the bounds of marriage, completely lawful and consensual. The doctor looked embarrassed. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Even if I had, it's never my place to question anyone's honor. Sahir's voice was calm but firm. Exactly. Binish Begum didn't say anything. She just looked at her son, her eyes filled with concern and displeasure. She quietly left the room. The doctor scribbled notes. Make sure her checkups are regular. I'm prescribing a few medications. She'll need an ultrasound in a week. If there's any pain or weakness, contact me immediately. Sahir nodded, holding Sophia's hand. Yes, of course. Thank you, doctor. She smiled slightly and left the room. Though quiet now, the room was heavy with emotion. A mix of joy, disbelief, and responsibility lingered. When the door shut, it was as though the dam inside Sophia broke. She burst into tears, sobbing uncontrollably. Her breathing became uneven, face soaked in tears, eyes swollen. Sahir rushed to her, held both her hands gently, and said, Sophia, my love, what's wrong? Why are you hurting yourself like this? Look, nothing happened. Everything's okay. I'm here for you. But Sophia pulled her hands away and turned her face. Everything happened because of you. I told you I was scared. I asked you to wait, but you didn't listen. And now look. This humiliation on my wedding day. Your mom is upset with me too. I saw the way she looked at me. Sahir felt a lump in his throat. He gently wiped her tears and kissed her forehead. My sweet Sophia. She's not angry. She's just worried. Any mother would be, seeing her daughter in pain. And you're not just a daughter-in-law, you're like a daughter to her. Please don't think like that. Sophia closed her eyes as though those words gave her a little comfort. But tears still streamed down. Sahir held her close, gently rubbing her back. The doctor said we need to take care of your health. So no more crying. I can't bear to see you in pain. You're not just mine anymore. You're carrying our child. You're about to become a mother. So be strong, my love. Sophia remained in his arms, quiet, feeling the rhythm of his heartbeat. She knew the situation was unexpected, but she wasn't alone. Sahir, his presence, his words, and his love were slowly piecing her back together. He ran his hand gently over her hair again. Everything will be fine, Sophia. I'll handle it all. Just please, stop crying. She nodded faintly. The tears didn't stop. But they no longer held fear, only a quiet acceptance and a soft, warm hope born from Sahir's promises.